Welcome to Dave and Don on the Lirr. Our premiere show was last week and we got a tremendous amount of responses. Thank you very much, YouTube people out there. And here's episode 2, and Don is a great co-host. I really enjoy working with Don. Basically, we work as commuters on Saturday morning going out to Bayside, Queens, and you're going
off the Little Neck.
Yeah, so we met over the years. I have a part-time gig in Bayside, and Don and I ended up talking one day many moons ago, and we see we have a common interest in film, movies, acting, etc., etc. Give me a couple dollars in that, and I'll buy a cup of coffee. But still, it's a worthwhile endeavor in my estimation, Don. And welcome.
Welcome, team, and all movie buffs out there. Hope you're enjoying it. It is the season to be jolly and hopefully watch great quality films out there.
You know, Don, this season is the season of the awards. They're trying to get the movies in by the end of the year to qualify for Academy Awards, and then the SAG Awards nominations, the Golden Globes, they come first. They're already mentioned. It's funny, The Irishman got in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and the main characters, except surprisingly, Robert De Niro wasn't nominated for either a Globe or a SAG Award, but his co-stars Pacino and Pesci were for Best Supporting Actor, and as you had mentioned last week, they tend to cancel each other out in the voting. And then another one we liked was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and DiCaprio was nominated for Best Actor and Brad Pitt for Best Supporting Actor.
Wow.
I think Judy Garland role played by Renee Zellweger is going to be a sleeper this year. So.
She's done a good job. She's right around the same age.
So the thing that most impresses me about you, Don, is your knowledge of the past movie and TV history in our country. I know we had mentioned we're big Steve McQueen fans, and we went back to Wanted Dead or Alive, which I watched a lot of, and you have too. And of course, I always liked his sidekick for a little while there, Wright King. Got a kick out of him.
Sure.
He was in the one with Streetcar Named Desire. He was a gentleman's suitor, and he was a boyish-looking guy in his late 30s, and they referred to him as Kid and everything like that. But he had a nice little career, at least on he had like 8 or 9 episodes on Wanted Dead or Alive, and I know you know a lot about that, but you wanted to talk about a recent passing away of a guy, Robert Walker Jr., who was the son of Robert Walker, Stranger on the Train, who I know of, and I didn't know about Robert Walker Jr. So what's the story on him?
Robert Walker Jr. Was probably best featured in the 1960s. He's got a small part in Easy Rider as his career was building. I think he did another one of those biker pictures, I think, but don't quote me on it. I remember him being part of an ensemble group for the War Wagon, which is John Wayne and Kirk Douglas. I mentioned, I think his pivotal beginning was in a movie called The Hook with Kirk Douglas. And then they tried, although I think it's a miss, they did a sequel to Mr. Roberts called Ensign Pulver, and he plays the Ensign Pulver, Jack Lemmon part. Walter Matthau was in it, another fine actor. Jack Nicholson's got a small part in it, but the movie kind of tanked, didn't make a dime. You'll see him scouted in favorite TV shows like Combat. He was in the classic Star Trek episode called Charlie X, the misfit character in that. He's in Invaders, which is on the sci-fi show. And then I think he just did sporadic TV appearances later on, like The Murder, She Wrote, which my friend calls the love boat of the 90s, where everybody gets popped up on that. But again, it's everyone's personal. Everyone has a gem or a super favorite or a person or an actress who comes and goes but means something to them. And I just felt bad about it. He passed away on the 5th of December. Now, we were mentioning while we were on a break, as we mentioned about Danny Aiello's passing. And of course, if you want to see quality movies with him, Do the Right Thing, Godfather 2, Moonstruck. Oh, a whole list of things. Look him up.
Yeah, he did a couple independent films in the early 90s. What was that, 29th Street or something like that?
Sounds about right. Yeah, I got you.
I don't know the exact ones. He had a nice career. Just to work and to get paid in this business is an accomplishment, and to last so long. Especially he was 86 years old, so God bless him. He lived a long time. We always want to live longer, but we all got to go someday, unfortunately. But as long as we're here yakking and whacking and talking about all this stuff, it's really pleasant having a nice TV partner, YouTube partner now in our second show, Dave and Don on the LIRR. So that's about it for now, and ciao and holy cow and wow. And you remember Batman movies? Pow, the TV, Zao, Pow.
Frank Gorshin, remember him? Riddler.
And I was just thinking the other day that those are my favorite Batman villains. Frank Gorshin, Cesar Romero, Burgess Meredith. They did the movies, the big serious movies later on. Although I did think Jack Nicholson was a great Joker, but I didn't get into that newer stuff, although they took it way too seriously. Those guys had a great sense of humor, and they still projected an evil type character on Batman, but cartoonish the way it should be, because that's what it is. So that's my 10 cents. What do you think of that?
I think there's something in that. Now, although like other people, when you're watching old favorites as a kid, some you're going to be delighted to see again, and don't be surprised, it can happen. Some shows are horribly dated. You can't believe that they were so big the first time. But again, teach your own.
Like Superman, I got all the series, 101 shows, 104 shows. I've seen them all a couple times, and they hold up quite well.
George Reeves.
Unfortunately, George Reeves died, and there was a big controversy how he died, but it sounds most likely it was a suicide. He was drunk, he shot himself, etc., etc. But they were going to do a couple other, they were going to do a new season. Perry White died.
Yes.
But they still were going to do another season. But Perry White can't sink the ship, but George Reeves can. And when he died, he sank the ship.
There's something there.
One side, station one side.
You're whittling away and taking away other quality people. You just can't replace them. That's what we've grown up used to, and you hear about these people bringing another actor to play somebody or an actress to come in. It just doesn't wash it. It's time to fold up the tent and go.
We got to go. The Woodside people are coming on. They're not going to understand what we're doing.
Oh.
Bye for now.
Nice to see everybody.